Okay, we're going to try part 3 of the Ribbons of Renown. And I have a guest up here on the table with me, and she is not happy that I'm trying to work in her space. So every once in a while, she reaches out and tries to claw me. So it's a cat. So anyway, we're going to do our best with this. Now, you have these ribbons like this. And the first thing I do is I take them and I take a piece of wax paper. And I'm going to tilt my camera down so you won't see me anymore. You'll just probably hear my voice. So let me adjust that a little bit so maybe you can see my work surface here. Whoops. That was just a little bit too much. Anyway, now. So here's my ribbon, and I have it laying here on my pressing cloth. And here is my wax paper. And I'm going to take this wax paper, and I'm just going to cover my ribbon with it. And I'm going to take my iron, and I'm just going to go over that a little bit. Now, you're wondering probably why am I doing this. When I did these, I had a little bit of a difficult time when I got ready to put the lettering on, because the paint bled through, and that's all I did. I just, that on there, pressed it, took it off, there we go. It just puts a little kind of a waxy film on there. And you may not need to do that, but that's what I do. The paint bled, and my calligraphy ink bled. A marker bled. Everything that I used bled into the ribbon. So then it looked like you had fuzzy letters, and I did not like that. So I bought some gel pens, and I bought 2 different kinds, and one kind bled anyway, but this kind worked. Now this says Clip Click Incorporated. It's the cheap brand of gel pens that I bought at my local Walmart. And the other gel pens that I got did not work. They bled too. So I got these. And I found that ironing a little bit of wax coating on it with the wax paper kind of helped keep it from bleeding. So, first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a special pen that I sew with. It's called Mark Be Gone, and they've got a couple of different kinds. They got one kind that you have to use a little bit of water to make the mark go away, and then they got one kind that just dissipates into the air after it's on there. I folded this in half. I folded this in half so I could make sure that I got to the middle of that ribbon. And you may not be able to see my mark there, but I just marked it on the end. Just marked it on the end so that I knew where the middle was. Now then, because, now, I do this because I like things to be straight and aligned. It kind of messes with my head if it's not. And you might be able to freehand this and get it just perfect, but I can't. So I have to do measuring stuff. And then I take my ruler and I make a line from this point here down to this little mark down here. That way I know where I want all my letters to line up. And more or less line up. I mean, it does not have to be perfect. I'm going to tell you that. Although I don't ever listen to my own advice. And it really doesn't show up very well on this red because it's very light. And it could be that this is old another, you know, sewing shop leftover because I couldn't find the newer ones that I bought because I never put anything up, so I don't ever know where anything is. Okay, so you can't see the line, but there is a line. I don't know, maybe I can, you might be able to see it reflecting in the light there just a little bit. You see, there's a line going straight down. That's where I want my letters to be. Now, here's another thing. Now, I've got this ready to start putting my letters on it. But, you might want to sketch out what you want your letters to look like, okay? So, and what you want your design to look like. And I also did it on graph paper. It's kind of light here. You can't hardly see it here. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to know how long it was going to be and if there was going to be enough room on the ribbon to put it. And for what I'm doing, the letters that I'm doing are 1 centimeter tall and 1 centimeter wide. So that's kind of what I'm working with, the 1 centimeter thing. Except for the crown, which is 1 centimeter tall by 2 centimeters wide. So anyway, so I did that, and then this was my sketch of what I want my lettering to look like. Now, your lettering can look different. Some people have a whole lot of calligraphy hands, and you know, and I can do that, but you know, when some of us boomers, when we were growing up, we read there was a primer that we all read, and it was like Dick and Jane, and it was like see Spot run, run Jane, get Spot. So that's the way I do calligraphy. It's just, you know, I read music the same way. I can read music, but it's like a Dick and Jane novel. So by the time everybody else has got through singing the song, I got the first page of sheet music read. Anyway, so now I use a stencil to make my letters. This is just a little stencil. It's probably reversed. There we go. This is a little stencil that I use to make the letters. Now, the letters don't look like that. I'm just using this as a guide because once I do the letters, I change them to look like I want them. And so I printed out these letters. These are the letters I print out. These are the ones I'm going to use. And it's kind of a Celtic script. So anyway, I'm using those letters. So you can print out whatever kind you like and change the letters to look like that if you want. Or you can freehand it because I can't. So that's where we are with that. Now, let me show you how I do this. I'm just going to use this right here. Let's say I want to make a C. So I just use that stencil and I make that C on there. Now, that's my C. See that? Now, I want this C to look like that C. So I'm just going to change it. All right, that's enough. And so I'm just going to make that wider there. And then I'm going to add that little bow. Like that. And then I'm going to fill it in. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. So, now, my crown on this is going to be 2 centimeters wide, and it's 1 centimeter tall. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to drop down from this point right here. I'm going to drop down a 1/2 centimeter. Is that right? Or did I go down a whole centimeter? I don't know. Let me double check that. Yeah, a 1/2 centimeter. I dropped down a 1/2 centimeter. Line it up with my point down on the bottom, and I mark that with my little Mark Be Gone pin. And you can probably do it with the real ink pen and just blend that into your thing. And so I know that my crown is going to be 1 centimeter tall. So I'm going to mark that at 1 centimeter. So, can you see that? I got 2 dots on there. Now, it's going to be 4 centimeters wide. So, I'm going to the thing about using a ruler that's got centimeters and no, it's 2 centimeters wide. 2 centimeters wide. That's 1, 2. Okay, 1 centimeter tall and 2 centimeters wide. So I'm going to mark that again. And I've got it marked right here. So now this is going to be that little area there. That's where I'm putting my crown. Okay, so then I just kind of freehand this crown in here. And I suppose if you were really smart and you were really nifty, you could get that the way that you wanted it, and then you might be able to, you know, make a stencil. And then you wouldn't have to do, you know, you just have to do one and make a stencil, and then you would be going and just, you know, going at it. And then it would all be, you know, it would all be exactly alike on everything. But I didn't make a stencil. So I'm just doing this free-handed. And we're just going to hope that it turns out all right. And of course, they'll probably all look a little different because I'm freehanding everything. Maybe they won't look too different. But maybe also it really won't matter that much. not turning out the way I want it. But it's turning out all right. If I decide I really hate it, then I'll do a different one later. I don't think it looks as good as my original one. And sometimes, you know, when I get them done, I go back in there and I fill in a little bit, you know, darken it a little bit, fill it in the places where, and I'm just kind of trying to do this in a hurry anyway, because if we really, there we go. So there's my crown. That's my crown. And now, then I go another ½ centimeter down. I go another ½ centimeter down. Now, I'm not going to do this whole thing. I'm just going to show you how I do it, because once you see me do 1 or 2 letters, you'll get it. You'll get it. Because it's just all done the same. It's all done the same. Okay, now. So now I have my little dot there where I'm going to put my first letter. And that first letter is an M. So I'm going to make sure I have that letter centered on that line as much as possible. Now then, and I'm just going to now I don't do it really dark. I don't do it really dark. It doesn't look like an M, but that's what that is. But I don't do it really dark because, remember, I'm going to change the lettering. I'm going to change the lettering to look like this as much as possible. Anyway. And really, when you're doing the M's this way, it's better not to do the middle part of that M, because it's just way, way different than an actual M. I debated on doing these kinds of M's because I'm not really a fan of them. To me, they just look way different. Can I get that? No. Oh, that's a wrong one. See, that's just it. I could have messed up there, because that was inches and not centimeters. So, now, I'll probably go back and fine tune that. You see that? That is my M. And then, I drop down another half a centimeter. That's an inch. I'm not doing inches. Okay. Another half a centimeter, because I want my next letter to be I want there to be a half a centimeter space between the letters. So, see right there? I got another dot. Okay, so then I'm going to take this, and the next letter is an A. So then I'm going to put that. I'm going to center that up. Center that up right there. Is that a half a centimeter? No, that's more than half a centimeter. I didn't think that looked right. Okay. A half a centimeter. Then I'm going to center my A up right there. And I'm going to sketch that A in there like that. See that? Now, I'm going to turn that A into that A. Or close to it, anyway. So, like that. Close enough? And you just keep doing that with your letters as you go down the road until you have this. Go all the way down with your letters. Just like that. And that's how you do that. And then, of course, when you get finished, you can tie all of these up to be, you know, the same length if you like. And then cut them off. And it's probably a good idea to take a lighter and, you know, fuse the ends of that. And then there you have your ribbons of Reknown. And that's how I make my ribbons of Reknown. And I think that y'all will do so much better than I have. And that's all there is to it. I hope it was helpful. Y'all be cool out there.